Morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This week I was going to show you guys, I was going to show you a different tool because I thought I had a different tool. I won this plane on eBay, and I thought the pictures on eBay were pretty bad. They're blurry and they were from weird angles, and I was pretty sure that this was actually a spill plane. This hole right here is kind of why I thought that. I assumed that this was to cut spills. When I got it, I realized that that's not what this is. This is something else. I don't know how well you can see that, if it's focusing or not. But this is definitely not a spill plane. It is user made. Looks to me like it's made of oak. There's no user name or maker's mark of any kind. The iron is also handmade. I mean, you can see it's really rough in places where it was cut out of a bigger chunk of metal. It's not square. It's kind of got a odd bow to it. So, I mean, this thing is undeniably user made, and is not a spill plane. But I couldn't figure out what it was because it's small and just odd looking. It doesn't look like a plane that I would recognize. So I posted it on a couple Facebook woodworking groups to try and figure out what it might be. And I got a bunch of answers. Some of them I knew were definitely wrong, but I did get a few that kind of sounded like it might be something. And one of them was, a couple guys said that they thought it was a little panel raising plane. And I had never even considered that might be what it was. But after they said that, I started thinking that does make sense. So I'm pretty sure that this is a user-made panel raising plane. Of course, the panel would be, pretty small. It'd be perfect for little boxes or things. It's definitely not the type of panel raiser you would use for cabinet doors or anything, but for small stuff, this would be perfect. I'm gonna oil everything, hone the blade, and then try to use it as a panel raiser and see what happens. I'm gonna get this thing restored. It won't take much. The plane's in good shape. It just needs oiled, and the iron is dull, but because it's straight, it doesn't have a profile of any kind. It'll be pretty easy to sharpen. I don't have a panel around here to show you as an example, but typically, let's see if I got a book that might have a good picture. Badger and Panels 208. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is a typical panel that you would make with a panel raising plane, and these would be used inside of frames for cabinet doors or box lids or whatever. And see, this is kind of what I was expecting to see. This is what a typical panel raiser would look like. I actually have one that looks almost identical to this, but it's the iron. I need a new iron for it. But yeah, you can see that this thing is very different. And that's what was throwing me off so bad. It doesn't look like a typical panel raiser. All right, well, I'm gonna get to work on it. Alright, I'm just gonna use this scrap piece of wood. It does have a hole here, so I'm just gonna do the paneling on 3 sides, so I don't have to worry about that. You want to start off on the end grain. That way, if it does tear out some, this is going to be planed off anyway, so it's not going to hurt anything. It's pretty sharp now, so there shouldn't be a lot of tear out anyway. Say that and then I rip the entire side out. Once it gets down to this depth stop, it'll stop cutting on its own. So it seems like we're at that point now. Perfect. All right, I think that's about all it's going to do. The only thing I can see that's kind of an issue is that this line here for the raised panel part is kind of rough. And the reason for that is usually on a panel raiser there'll be a blade that just a sharp pointed blade that sticks straight down into the wood. It's called a nicker, and the nicker would actually define that line more clearly. But this, being homemade, it doesn't have a nicker. So because of that, that line is a little rough. You could, before using this, I could have gone through with a saw and sawed this line out by hand, and then it wouldn't have been so rough. But yeah, that is a homemade panel raising plane. And you can, I mean, obviously I would have done this side if it didn't have this hole here, but it would be paneled all the way around, and this would be fitted into, you know, a box lid or a door cabinet or cabinet door or just whatever you need it for. But that's what this is. This mystery tool is definitely not a spill plane. It's a panel raising plane, and it's a homemade one, which is pretty interesting.